Okay. All right, it's 10 o'clock. So I'll start. I'll let people, if people do turn up, I'll let them in. Thank you for coming, everyone. Good morning. I've said this once, I'll say it again. It is being recorded. We always record these, but now we've started putting them on YouTube. If you don't want your face on YouTube, please do turn your camera off, and it's absolutely fine. And you can still talk to us. So, yeah, Sanam, you're in. I think I've just got your email through saying that you couldn't, and now you can. You found the link. Okay, good morning, everyone. We've no guest speakers today, so if any of you want to have a 10-minute slot next time, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to take up that slot this morning just because I can. So, because I've got plenty to update you all on. So I'll set off by on the first thing on the agenda is an update on the Burnley Health and Wellbeing Partnership, which is, I'm not sure whether you're aware or not, it's called Burnley Together, but it is actually the Burnley Health and Wellbeing Partnership. And I go along to those meetings. I represent all of you and CVS, of course, as well, and all the small groups and VCF sector. And they have split off into two subgroups, which I'll update you on a little bit later. So first of all, we've been involved, BPRCVS have been involved in applying for and putting a proposal together to Lancashire County Council to work with their adult social care team around relieving the pressures on adult social care, because a lot of their referrals are inappropriate or people need some different kind of help that they can give. So we've put a proposal together with the councils, with Burnley Council, Rosendale Council and Pendle Council. And we did include our community cars in that. Now, LCC, for some reason, are reluctant to fund the community cars part. So we put a different proposal together for a befriending and volunteer project, which will include young people volunteering. So we're going to get in touch with all the colleges and make connections throughout the colleges around befriending, a little bit of, if they need a little bit of painting doing or a bit of gardening doing, that kind of thing. So we're waiting for it all to be confirmed. Attached to that will be a funding programme that will be focused on adult social care, so any groups can apply to it. That also has to be confirmed just yet. And the guidance, we've developed the guidance in the application form. You know us, it's not an onerous application form, it's not onerous guidance. So not sure what amounts there'll be or anything like that just yet. We're just waiting for everything to be confirmed. Working alongside all that will be 3 new community connectors who will be adult social care community connectors. They will work alongside the adult social care team and our community connectors and social prescribers. And there'll be 1 for each area. So there'll be 1 for Burnley, 1 for Pendle, and 1 for Rosendale. We recently recruited for community connectors to replace some staff that had left in Pendle East and Rosendale. We had a really high standard of applicants. We had loads of applicants as well, which were really, really good. It was really heartening. So we had a really good pool to choose from for the new roles and for the adult social care roles, because we didn't have to interview again because we'd interviewed already. So that were really good. So like I said, we're waiting for that definitive decision from Lancashire County Council. I'll keep everybody updated as we go along. So the subgroups for Burnley Health and Wellbeing Partnership are housing and respiratory disease, and also the second one is childhood nutrition. I went along to look both of these. One was last Wednesday, one was this Wednesday. There were lots of agencies there, lots of organisations there that deal with both of these issues. And in both of the subgroups, it was talked about and it was agreed that a consistent message needs to be out there. In Burnley, we're really lucky because we've got a damp and mould officer in Burnley Council. And we'll send the information out. If Lorna hasn't done it already, we'll send that information out to you all, so you've all got it. And also, it was also agreed at both of these that there needs to be a process of education around housing, respiratory disease, you know, around the damp and mold, how to avoid all that. The childhood nutrition is a little bit more complicated because it all depends on your income, your level of education, where you live in, it's all that. There's a lot to take into consideration. But the consistent message from both of these subgroups was they will need help from the voluntary community and faith sector. So all of us to get those messages out as and when we get them. So as and when we get them, we'll send them out to everybody. And if you would be so kind as to send them out to all of your networks, make sure that all your beneficiaries know, that'd be really good because they know how good we are at getting those messages out. We have a bit of disappointing news, really. I don't know whether some of you might remember the Population Health Management Community Investment Fund that ran for a couple of years. And they were hoping to do it again this year. The RCB, the Integrated Care Board, were hoping to do it again this year. However, they've told us there's no funding available. What the RCB are doing at the moment is they're stopping anything. They're trying to get their act together and they're stopping anything that isn't contracted. So anything that's contracted carries on for now, but anything that isn't contracted, that include the population health management money, it's stopping. So unfortunately, that's not going to be available this year. However, there is a report from Lord Darcy. Some of you might have seen it. I can send it out. That gives lots of recommendations, and to cut a long story short, there's a lot of emphasis on partnership working and investment in the community and in the voluntary community and faith sector. So that's quite, you know, it's a bit of sunshine on the horizon there that he's given that recommendation. Lancashire Association of CVSs and Lancashire and South Cumbria Alliance, we're involved with, we represent on there, and there will be a new project which will be linked to our Volunteering for Health and Community Hub called, I think it's called Volunteering for Wellbeing. I'm not entirely sure. It will work across Lancashire, so we will host and employ the worker. It will work across Lancashire. I'm not entirely sure how it will work just at the moment, but I'll keep you posted on that. So we continue to represent voluntary community and faith sector at county level and beyond, and we try and be the voice of all of you. So that's why I asked for your opinions and your comments and things. So everything that's talked about here in People, Pendle and Rosendale Connected, it all gets fed up. So we had some visitors in June, and I don't know whether I've mentioned this to you or not, but it was the Integrated Care Board. They came along to visit us. They are doing a review of the social prescribing programme across the country. Our visit went really well. It was really positive. They were very impressed with the programme that we all deliver here. So not just us, all the small groups that have had RCB funding as well. They asked us lots of questions about our perspective of social prescribing and how it works for us and all of you and your beneficiaries. And the groups that we invited there performed really well and really impressed the visitors. And the consensus that came out of it is short-term funding is not good. It limits projects and fragments the support offer from community groups, and it gives instability. It creates instability. So apparently there's 4.4 million coming into East Lancashire via GPs and PCNs. That's the primary care networks. And the RCB are not looking to make any reductions, and they have a commitment to health inequalities and voluntary community and faith sector, as is mentioned in Lord Darcy's report. So they're looking at funding us longer term, which would then translate to all of you, the small groups, having longer term funding. So if they fund us for 2 years, you would also get funding for 2 years. They're also looking at direct funding for health and wellbeing projects around mental health. I don't know how far that's got, but that will be, as soon as we get any information, it will come out to all of you as well. And we are continuing in a very optimistic fashion, as though everything will carry on after March 2025. So hopefully the funding programme will carry on, our social prescribers and our community connectors will carry on, but we await a decision. Speaking of RCB, social prescribing small groups funding, only 5 groups have been successful in the funding this year. So far this year, 13 applied. 2 are awaiting a decision, 4 were unsuccessful, and 1's been withdrawn. The funding needs to be spent, because if we don't spend it, we don't get it again. We definitely don't get it again if we don't spend it. So please do contact Heather, Katie, Julie for an application form, support and guidance. Spread the word, let people know, let other groups know that they can apply for funding to get £5,000. I'm involved a little bit with Together an Active Future. I'm on their steering group, and the key priorities for Together an Active Future is helping people to move more and encouraging the small changes, such as a small walk and things, which is a lot what some of our small groups do, and what our connectors and social prescribers do. They're also looking at Beat the Street again for Burnley. They're looking at, they will have a limitless British cycling part-time community engagement and community developer employed. There's talk of a new Padium health hub, which would be really good. A lifestyle hub, which includes Up and Active. There's talk about that. Moving medicine, which is around getting pharmacists and GP surgeries moving more and encouraging patients to move more as well. They are recruiting volunteers for Burnley Leisure and Culture. So if you're interested or you know of any, please do get in touch with Michelle or Kate, and they will signpost you and support you into applying for that. And a community health hub there was talk about as well, being based at St. Peter's. So more on that as and when I get it. I talked about our health and wellbeing for children and families team. We've had to pause referrals into our children and families team for Burnley. I did have a phone call with Children in Need last week. Everything's crossed that we get a really good decision at the end of November. So if not, I think we're going to have to end that for Burnley and Rosendale and for parts of Pendle as well, because we've only got funding for 2 workers that can work in Brayfield and Nelson at the moment. So please keep your fingers crossed and everything else crossed for us that we can start that up again in April. South West Burnley Community Action Group is Action Network is another thing that I'm involved. I've been fingering a lot of pies. I spin a lot of plates. There is a diversity festival going to be happening in October half term. We were going to do it earlier, but in light of things that happened around the Southport murders, etc., we didn't think it were appropriate to do it just then. So Ghana Community Centre will be a venue for world music during that week. So we'll give you more information on that as and when it comes along. It's our 90th anniversary next year. I will shut up soon, honestly, I promise. It's our 90th anniversary next year. We're looking at different things. I'm applying for funding just to see what we can do. There'll be a number of events. We're hoping to do something once a month. We might call on some of you to give us a video testimonial or talk to us about how CVS has supported your group. And I think that is about it from me, you'll be pleased to know. So have you got anything that you would like to, have you seen any trends or anything that you'd like to feed into the Health and Wellbeing Partnership? Is there anything that, I mean, I know Katie Oring from CAP has talked before about, people having a budget, but they've broken those budgets because the cost of living has just gone up so much. And I know the energy price cap's going up again in October. So is anybody seeing anything similar to that, or other things? I'm looking to see if anybody's waving at me. Kate.
Thank you. It's more really just saying that those bits of bulletins that you've just given sound so positive for our areas and communities. I personally felt quite excited at some of those mentionings of things like health and wellbeing, community hubs, Padium, etc. And the childhood nutrition definitely links into what we were all chatting about on the last meeting about education. It's just like historic across the board through the NHS, isn't it? But it's just having a really good cohesive long term, those short funding things. There's longevity needed. That's just what I'd like to input on that. So it just sounds really exciting.
Yeah, I think there is a realization that no one agency or organisation, including the NHS or the council, can do this on their own.
No.
They need all of us. There was a consensus of opinion that they need all of us. They need the voluntary community and faith sector to be able to reach those people that, you know, I hate that phrase, but hard to reach people, or those that don't engage regularly or are busy, you know, they're working all the time. So those messages need to get out to those people as well. It's not just those, you know, our usual suspects that come forward, and it's everybody. We need to get that message across, and they realise that they need us to do that, which is really good. It's a really good, it's a positive move forward. Thank you, Kate. Anyone else want to comment, contribute? I saw lots of nods when Kate was talking. It does sound really positive. It does. It sounds really positive. I mean, who knows whether some of these things will come off, but I will try and keep you as informed as I possibly can about the things. It's just, I was talking to Cheryl from Burnley Leisure and Culture yesterday, and she used to come along, but she's a big boss now, and she ain't got time for us anymore. She's so sorry that she can't come along. She's going to try and find somebody else that can come along and represent Burnley Leisure and Culture. But I said in the meantime, I can give some updates. So we were talking yesterday about how important it is for this partnership working in this Burnley Link stuff, where we're sharing resources, information, we're connecting outside these meetings and doing that partnership work. And it's being recognised now that we are doing this. So it's a good thing that you're involved in this party once a month. So anyone else know, you've no trends or anything coming through? Great stuff. If you want to email me later, you can do. I'm quite happy.
It's not really a trend, but there was a lady that came into downtown recently, and she was interested in setting up a group for people to support them around decluttering. So for people who are hoarding, so it felt very kind of connected to health and well-being. And we were just thinking about who might be the right person to facilitate a group like that here, or if there is anything like that already in Burnley that anyone knows of.
There's not one in Burnley, but there's one that's been run at Open Door in Cong called Magpies. And it might be an idea just to have a chat with whoever runs that. I'm not sure the name of them, but if you contact Nick or somebody down at Open Door in Colne, they might be able to help, because they said they've been running one there for quite a long time. So just sometimes it's quite a good idea to ask somebody else what they've got going on.
Thank you.
And how they've done it.
Yeah, it's been around a while as Magpies as well, hasn't it, Katie? Yeah, been around for a few years, so it might be as well contacting Nick, Abby, and just seeing what's going on. If there is a group that wants some help in setting up, you know, constituted and all that, our Katie and Heather can help with that.
Oh, brilliant.
So if they, you know, or if they just want to talk about it and see, you know, what their options are, that's absolutely fine. So
yeah, I'd say as a former social prescriber across East Lancs, etc., that is a really big cohort of referrals. And Magpie, you're right, Katie, is probably, as far as I'm aware, to date, the only kind of group setting support on hoarding. There are people in the local councils, I'm not sure whether they are, it's sometimes since I've been in that role, but definitely in the Ribble Valley there was somebody in the council who dealt with the hoarding issues on a more practical financial level, but it's deeper than decluttering. It's a health and well-being issue. So anybody who brings up that suggestion in a group, I think it will get very well subscribed. Definitely.
Yeah, it is. It's more than, and there will be somebody in the council that does that clear up stuff, or even in Calico Abbey that does that clear up stuff. So your neighbourhood workers will know who that is, because like Kate said, it's not just about clearing the house, which is the immediate thing. It's that psychological stuff that's behind it, and any trauma. Sometimes there's trauma behind it as well. So
hopefully we can get something set up. I'll try and contact Open Door and Cone and see what they think, if they've got any suggestions. Thank you.
Yeah.
If I can find the poster of it, Abby, I can email it over to you from the contact list. So I'll have a look.
Oh, thank you, Katie. Cheers.
Fab, thank you. Anyone else got anything they want to add to the health and wellbeing? No, I'll feed that into Abby as well. I'll feed that in that you know, there's somebody interested in setting up a group to support hoarders. I think Magpies is a wonderful name for it. I think it just says it all, doesn't it?
Just, I think John's mentioned it at a previous meeting, or it might have not been this one, but that domestic abuse continues to be something that we're coming across a lot as a reason for women in particular getting into debt
Yeah.
through either partners withholding funds, taking loans out and things like that in people's names. I've just recently had somebody who partner would take out mobile phone contracts in her names and then sell the mobile phones and they came through. So
Yeah.
we've got a lot of working with a lot of women at the moment who that's an issue for. And I've just had a lady contact me yesterday who's just moved to the area. And she's been homeless, been put up in a hotel for a while, but has finally got a place. Because she works, it's making it really difficult for her to get any support in filling the house. And Abby, I suggested that she came just to have a chat with some people at downtown. I've applied for some money that I can do through a charity that we work with as part of the church called Acts 435 to get her £200 to get an oven. But she's contacted Cellnet and other places, but because she works, she hasn't got she can't access a lot of support. But she's literally starting from scratch. If anyone's got any ideas, that would be brilliant.
Katie, you could refer her into our social prescribing community connectors program. If you refer her into there, they might be able to help her with some of that funding for stuff. Naveed.
I was just going to say, there's the Acorn Fund. I don't know about the eligibility, but if you drop an email to Roger Frost, remember he spoke a couple of meetings ago.
Yeah,
and talked about
they gave me 600, like one of my clients, £640 to which is above what they usually give, but to recarpet a house because she's again fleeing domestic abuse and has gone into a new build that's got nothing, and her son's got this severe skin problem that is like he's very dry skin, and it was just dusty floors throughout. So she got some money from Calico, but they were brilliant actually. So yeah, that's a good idea, Naveed. I don't know why I didn't think about them because I've used
don't
them
worry,
before.
Katie. Yeah,
But
no, and I mean, there's the Acorn Fund, and if housing are supporting this lady, the housing team she's in Burnley. She was homeless in Burnley, was she?
yeah, so I think she's gone into private accommodation. I only spoke to her briefly yesterday on the phone. I think she'd gone to the Padiham, had gone to Padiham Church, to St Leonard's in Padiham, and they'd given her my number. So she's not got debts. She's sort of okay in that way, but it was just coming to somebody to try and get some help really, and I
See,
think
Burnley
because we
Council,
talked, yeah,
the housing
okay,
team actually have a starter pack. I think when people move and they're homeless and they move into accommodation, it might be worth asking the question because they give a
yeah,
basic, I don't know, is it a toaster, kettle, little things like that for the house, a start pack. So
brilliant. I'll have a chat with her about those because yeah, and I said I've told her to come down to downtown as well just to try and start to build up some community links as well, really, for her.
Yeah,
But thank
yeah, we
you.
can provide a lot of support here. We can get her signed up in the grocery, and we've got some household items around the back, not loads, but yeah, there's some stuff
Yeah,
around the back.
so
And
many stuff going on there as well, isn't there? Like groups and things. So
yeah, we've got the
I think
household support fund as well,
yeah,
that she could apply for.
okay.
Kate, did you want to?
If I could just add as well, I was just trying to find the details. I don't know whether anybody is representing the Life Church here today, but
No.
they have started a weekly course. I think it's about
The
6.
Freedom Programme.
That's
Yeah,
the one. Yeah. So
yeah,
I thought you'd be aware of that,
yeah,
Kate. That's a recent addition to
yeah.
themselves, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a brilliant program. I've been in contact with Beth, who's running it, and
Mm.
Anthony, who's the other our other debt coach in there. His wife's involved in running that as well. Because I've been in contact with them as well about going to speak to that group because I did the one in Cole and we had 3 people now debt centre clients because of going to speak there. So I'm going to try and get to speak to that group as well. But yeah, it's just a number, isn't it? But you're not really allowed to sort of know where it's being run. There is a telephone number that you can call to link into that. Thank you, Kate.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Anyone else got anything before I move on to updates and whiz around my screen? No. Okay, there's nobody waving at me and nobody looking. I want to speak. Okay, so I'm going to whiz around my screen. So unfortunately, Katie, BPRCVS, you're my first one.
That's okay. Hi, yes, I'm Katie. I'm the community development worker here at BPRCVS. So just a few things. Like Tracy said, we can provide support around new groups who want to set up. So if you've got someone in the community who's identified a need and, you know, like wants to get that going in terms of like paperwork, governance, we can provide assistance with that. So please feel free to signpost over to us. We do have some, as Tracy touched on, we do have some funding still available at the moment. So we've got the Integrated Care Board funding, that's up to £5,000, and that's available to not-for-profit organisations with a turnover of £150,000 or less. We're still accepting applications for Burnley, Pendle and Rosendale. So if either your organisation qualifies or if you're working with any groups that qualify, please feel free to, you know, spread the word on that. We've also got the Eric Wright larger grants, which is also up to £5,000. That's aimed at smaller groups with a turnover of £50,000 or less. But that's also open at the moment. And the other thing I just wanted to mention is we've arranged some free introduction to safeguarding training. We had the session, one of the sessions this week was in Burnley at Gano Community Centre, so we had a really good turnout for that. The Pendle Day is pretty much fully booked, but we do have a session on next Tuesday in Bacup at the ABD Centre if any volunteers or groups would like to attend that. It's a really good interactive course, like I say, and it all around introduction to safeguarding adults. So yeah, I think that's my update.
You've forgotten the most important one, Kate.
What's that?
The monitoring evaluation workshops that I deliver.
Oh, I see. Yes, we are also running those. However, I think we need some more dates in the diary for that, Tracy. Because we've got one running next week. It's online via Teams, as Tracy said. Tracy's delivering them. They're really interactive and aimed at either anyone who sort of deals with funding or is kind of looking to deal with funding. It's sort of aimed at some of our groups who we fund, but anybody, it's more of a general course about monitoring and evaluation. So yes, please feel free to also book on that.
Yeah, I was gonna. None of the dates I've been able to do, and I know you sent out another load of dates, but we'll be doing some more because I would like to go. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, like Katie says, it's my fault that there isn't any more dates. I need to set some dates, so there will be some more dates. I do get told off occasionally. You haven't given us any more dates, Tracy. That's why I've not said anything.
But there's one coming. There is one next week, but that has been sent out. But you're more than welcome to book on that.
Yeah, and if you're interested, please do just whiz Laura an email and say that you're interested, but you can't make any of the dates, and she'll keep you on the list. And then when there is more dates, if I can get round to it today, I will do it. I'll do it today. I'll do it today, Katie, honestly. If I can get round to it today, I will do it, and I'll put some more dates in, because we did say that although this was aimed at a particular funding stream, it was aimed at the UK Shared Prosperity funding, and the groups that had got funding from that, because some of them were relatively new to funding groups, and it was a large amount of money, and it were quite complicated, or it looked quite complicated, did the monitoring evaluation. So we decided to put these on. But people have found them useful that haven't got that funding, because it's not a big focus on that. There's only an element of it. So anybody, and there's always something new to learn, even if you're really experienced in project management, please do come along. There's always something new to learn. And you know me, it's a party. Wherever I go, there's a party. So, you know, they are quite interactive and enjoyable. And it doesn't take too long either. We try and book out like 2.5 hours, 3 hours, but it usually only takes about an hour and a half. It just depends on what the contributions are. So then sometimes as a gift, you have a free hour afterwards to do what you like, go away and eat chocolate or drink brews or stare out of the window. And nobody knows, and I don't tell anybody either. I don't say. So yeah, please book on. If the dates aren't, if next week's not convenient for you, let Lorna know that you want to go on it, and we'll be booking some more dates, so she'll let you know as soon as I've done that. Thank you, Katie, and thank you, Katie. So Katie Camp, it's you're next on my screen. Thank you.
Not really much to update, really, just that we're continuing to see clients. I've just had a client go debt free this morning when I logged onto the system, so that's brilliant. We've had 2 this week actually, so I think it's taken us up to 17 or 18 this year. So continuing to support people in the area. Life Skills has just had its 2nd week this week. It's probably is getting to the point where it's getting a bit late to book people in for that now, but I'm sure if you contacted the number which went out with all the information, then Anthony and Marie would have a chat with somebody, and if they really wanted to go on it, there's still time to do that. And yeah, we continue with all our drop-ins. We've got loads of drop-ins happening now. We've got one on at this moment at Downtown with Anthony, at Valley Street now once a month on a Friday. What I did was I went to the it was called the DWP speed dating, which is a bit strange the other day at the job centre. I created a little form that I gave out to the job centre staff there, and I'll email it out to the group, and it just has everything on there that we're doing. So it's got all the debt centre stuff, and it's got all the stuff around budgeting courses that we can run whenever and however you want us to run them. Also life skills, and then all the drop-ins. It's got all the dates and the times of those. So I'll send it all out to you. But yeah, we're just continuing as we were. Marie is leaving us at the end of October, but myself and Anthony are extending our hours slightly, so we'll be doing exactly the same thing. So we're covering her absence, which is a shame she's going, but yeah, we're still going to be doing exactly what we were doing before.
Yeah. Fab. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Kate.
Yes. Sorry, just following on from what you said, Tracy, monitoring and evaluation. I attended a couple of weeks ago, and it gave me a really good perspective on monitoring evaluation for our project, being a technically sort of newbie into this field of project support, etc. It was really valuable for me to attend that. Ourselves as the hub, the Volunteering for Wellbeing and Community Hub, moving fast and furious. It's now coming up to all the freshers week's fairs, etc. at colleges across Burnley, Pendle and Rossendale. Yesterday at Burnley was an extremely busy event, so there was lots of initial inquiries, so then we'll collate that and then be following up and getting people through their courses or individually for personal reasons, connecting to their own communities, hopefully into good volunteer roles that they require, etc. Last month's forum over in Pendle, with Curry on the Street rather, once we got into the building, which is a bit of a hoo-ha, but was a really lovely success for our first forum back after the summer break. It was all about food share, food networking, etc. And we had representatives from community champions across all areas, and it was really valuable. We had a really good turnout of numbers, and everybody's feedback was really positive, and a lot of information was shared and learnt. Plus it was really good for people to see each other face to face rather than the name behind the community champion or the Burnley Together food share, etc. So it was a good success was that. Our next forum for October is the 8th, and that's at the Chai Centre, and it's about, the topic is volunteers and mental health awareness, and we have got guest speakers. Hassan, I think I've seen you on screen a minute ago. You're going to be doing an introductory spot on community roots for us, and an introduction to the centre. We've also got a lovely group called SIS, Strength in Struggles, and I think they've had some funding from BPRCVS Small Groups and Funding recently. And Beck is a Trojan in championing mental health awareness, so she's going to be a guest speaker. And then we've got Spring into Action and Community Solutions Northwest, with a volunteer spotlight from Community Solutions Northwest. So the time is 11 till 1. The invites have all gone out, but it would be lovely to see people there and engaging into the topic of, because it is Mental Health Awareness Week as well. There's a lot going on. And as Tracy did mention earlier, there is the diversity events across the week. And one of those is here at Ghana Community Centre, and us ourselves as a project have got involved with that in collaboration with Anna from West End Community Centre as well, and using and utilising volunteers to support that event. But I think it's going to be a really lovely event. There's all sorts of diverse aspects of musical input coming. I think it's going to be very noisy, but that should be really good fun with that. Such things as our food share, networking with all the community champions is continuing to be a really good success. We now have the volunteers in place who are the peer mentors for the food share, who are doing an absolutely sterling job, and their confidence has grown amazingly in the 6 weeks that they've begun that role, leading on to bigger and better things. So that's still being a success and being very well supported by the lovely volunteers that we've popped into place through kind of getting to know them and building encouragement around their confidence to come on board, etc. So I think that's about it for now. The training consultations from last time I was on here, I was really grateful. Thank you. I think Tammy, you sent in the document of information, etc., and good links are being made with yourselves on future training opportunities. And the Mindfulness Champions training is on the 7th of October, and anybody who has registered who might be on here or not will get a reminder email by the end of this week that that's happening still. So that'll be a really good session. We've got 25 people for that. So yes, I think that's about it for now, if that's okay.
Thanks, Kate. Thank you very much. Lots going on there. Tammy, you're on mute.
There, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that better?
Yeah.
Hiya. So obviously I will pop up with what we've got training at the moment. I think I've sent over them, but it's just if anyone new is on here, just to let what New Era does. We provide a range of services to help individuals and communities. So please, I think our details are on all the leaflets if anyone wanted to contact us. We've got, we support people going back into employment if they're in the Burnley area. We've got our health and wellbeing section, so they support children and young people as well. As I said, we do have some training courses on at the moment, and we do have the dates on there, but if anyone was looking at tailoring them, then obviously they can just give us a call, contact us, and we can have a look, see what we can do on there, and keep on with them relationships, building them with everyone in the community. I think at the moment we've got the Time for You course. I think I've sent them out recently. We've got the maths on there, but we're offering the level 1 certified mental health awareness course as well. We've got a couple of dates for them. I'm sure I've sent it over, but if not, I'll pop that over. I'll try and put it in the chat.
Fab. Thank you, Tammy. Tammy, you've just gone on mute again. Is that? I don't know whether you'd finished. It's not letting you talk now, is it? No. Okay, we'll move on. Tammy, you're back.
So
Yay.
sorry. I've had to unplug my mouse to put my headset in, and then I'm on my laptop. But no, thank you. That's all. All right, guys.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you very much. Ange.
Morning, everybody. It's the first time that I've attended this meeting. So I'm Ange Heaton. I'm Head of Commercial Support for FCMS. So some of you may have heard about us, but for anybody that hasn't, we're a social enterprise health and wellbeing provider. We provide a whole range of services across Lancs and South Cumbria, including urgent treatment centres, GP out of hours across Fleetwood, Blackpool, Morecambe Bay. We provide the out of hours emergency dental helpline for Lancs and South Cumbria, and out of hours emergency dental services actually across in Burnley. But we've been appointed by Lancs County Council as a community outreach provider of NHS health checks, and that's my reason for joining, because that covers Burnley as well. We're really not fussy in terms of where we turn up to do health checks. GP practices will continue to what they do, providing this service across in primary care. We work 7 days a week. I would say 365 days a year, but I'm sure we'd all want Christmas Day off. We have a mobile vehicle which has 2 clinical cubicles, so we're out and about in all sorts of communities, venues, events, employers providing these checks. So I'd love to be able to have 10 minutes at a future meeting to bore everybody to tears about this service. It is completely free. That's the other thing as well. It's a cardiovascular disease prevention programme, so really important. And you may have heard an announcement from the government within the last few weeks, which is specifically focusing around delivering health checks in the workplace to keep employees healthier and keep them in the workplace. So that's essentially what we're doing. So I would love to build some relationships and to enable us to be out and about in Burnley and providing as many checks as possible.
Fabulous. Thanks, Ange. I'll put you on the next agenda for the next meeting if you can make it.
That's great.
I'll send you the dates and you can have 10 minutes all to yourself. Thank you for that.
Thanks so much. Nice to meet everybody.
Just to let everybody know and remind everybody as well, so the membership list has everybody's contact details on. Feel free to contact anybody on there. We try and keep it updated, so if people tell us, we update it as we're going along. If people don't tell us, we're not psychic, we don't know. So if there is anything on there and you know that it's wrong, please do let us know. So thank you, Ange. Thank you very much. John, have you got anything to add to what Katie said?
In a word, no. Thank you.
Thank you. I love it. Succinct. Thank you very much. Abby.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'll try and be a little bit quick and succinct with my updates. We've got lots of exciting things happening at downtown at the minute, lots of new things happening. So we've got several theatre productions coming to downtown. So if you haven't been to a show yet, you should come and check them out. They're completely free to come along to. So we've got this one coming up. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see myself. Yeah, there we go, Mara.
Yeah.
Which is an adult show, and then we've got a children's show. We've got the Hidden Garden. So yeah, I'll make sure that you've got the information about that. Then we've got some different courses coming up. So we've got a reducing bills with energy efficiency workshop. So if anyone's struggling with gas and electric at the minute, you can signpost them to that course that's happening at downtown in October. So the first one, we didn't have a lot of people coming to it, so it'd be really good to get some more people signed up to that one. We've got a pre-ESOL course happening at downtown as well in November. So if you want to signpost anybody to that as well. And we've got some cooking classes and courses So we've got the Adults Cooking with Christina course on the last Wednesday of the month at Downtown. And we've got a new programme starting called Pasta. So that's for families to come together and cook together, a 6-week programme. So that's starting at the end of October. So yeah, if you've got any families that are interested in coming along to that to cook together, yeah, feel free to signpost to us. In terms of our shop, we've got a Relove the Pre-Loved shop at Downtown. So at the minute, that's all got school uniform in there mainly, but we'll be changing that around to winter warmers now. So if you've got any, anybody that you're working with that you want to signpost to the Relove the Pre-Loved shop, or if you've got any donations yourself to bring in, we'll be accepting them. What else have we got going on? We've got a raffle that we've got happening at the minute. If you want to, whilst you're here at Downtown, if you want to get any raffle tickets, we're fundraising with, a raffle at the minute. So it's all perfumes you can win. And yeah, the big news is we've been announced, Burnley Together has been announced as the official community partner of Burnley Football Club, which is really, really positive news. And Rowan, who's on this call, might want to say a little bit more about that. Yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you, Abba. Thank you very much. We'll get to you in a minute, Rowan. Just too much. I have 2 more in front of you. So, Jordan, have you got any updates?
Hi everyone. Yes, some exciting updates for me. I've got new staff, woo! Which has made a massive difference because we're finally starting to get out there now and getting the word out and about. So it was just myself and one other part-time member of staff. I've now got another part-time, a full-time, and also a community engagement coordinator.
Wow.
So all 3, and I'm so excited. And on top of that, we've managed to get 3 part-time volunteers as well.
Fabulous.
So I've gone from like none to everyone, which is fantastic. I'm loving it. So it has meant that I've been able to go out and about a bit more. I've been through to the DWP in Burnley finally, in Nelson as well. I did an event in Haslingden and Rosendale. So it's just hopefully now that I have got a bit more staff, you'll start to see advocacy focus out and about a bit more. Next month is Advocacy Awareness Week, which starts on that. I always forget the date. 14th it starts, Advocacy Awareness Week, so hopefully you'll get to see a little bit more of us out and about for that week, just promoting what advocacy is, what that service can do for people. Last bit is we have teamed up, I was going to say linked up, I couldn't get my words out, teamed up with Lancashire Women to do a fashion fundraiser. I'll send this round, I don't know if you'll be able to see it because I'm blurred. We're doing a fashion fundraiser in Mitten Hall in Clitheroe, where we're doing a fashion show with Willow Tree Boutique. There's 11 stalls. You get a free glass of fizz, all for a cheap price. I think it's a tenner. I can't remember how much the tickets are. I'll get back to you on that.
But me.
Just, the money bit, I forget about that bit. I'm just like, go to the fundraiser. But yeah, if you can get down, that would be amazing, and assist us and Lancashire Women. It's both really good charities. So that's all from me though. Hopefully you'll see us more.
Wonderful news. Great stuff, Jordan.
Thank you.
Fab. Hassan.
Morning, everyone. Few things from the Child Centre and update on Harry. I'll just go on about Harry. For those people who are not familiar with Harry, it's our health one, which goes out in Lancashire, South Cumbria. We do all sorts of promotion stuff. Harry's in Nelson, the Asda in Corn on the 1st of October. And we're back there again we're back in Burnley on 21st as well. I'll send the dates over for all the Harry dates. So if anyone wants to join us on Harry or just to promote your service, what are you doing in the local area, it's a good opportunity to get to people. Also, if you want us to bring Harry in any of the events, please let me know. In terms of Child Centre, we've got quite a few things going on at the moment. We've got quite a few ESOL classes. So Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. In fact, 3 days we've got ESOL class. We've also have drop-ins by Age UK. They do every Thursday's drop-in. We have carer service. They do gents drop-in as well. We've also got Job Club from New Clown. We've got the garden group, art group. Our new timetables come out, so I'll send that over. So if anyone wants to send anyone in our training, and yeah, this centre is getting very, very busy at the moment, with loads of partners moving in, and we're hoping by next week we'll have the learning disability team moving here as well, which will be amazing to have. We've also have drop-ins from talking therapy, the memory assessment team, they do a drop in here. And finally, on 10th of October, we have it's World Mental Health Day. So we have an event here. So if you want to bring anyone, especially who's concerned about mental health, we've got quite a few services. The talking therapy will be here. We'll have Age UK will be here. A few other partners will be here. So opportunity for people to talk to services. That's more or less. And that's more or less.
Fab, thank you, Hassan. Loads going on there. There's loads going on everywhere, isn't there, when we all start talking about things. Thank you, Hassan. Rowan, your turn at last.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I keep turning my video off because the Wi-Fi is absolute pants. I've had to come into the kitchen. So it's lovely to meet you all. Obviously, it's my first time in this meeting. You might know Martin Payne, who I think attends normally. I'm absolutely brand new into my role. I'm Health and Wellbeing Manager here at Burnley Football Club in the community. I'm aiming to be it every month, so hopefully you'll see much more of me. As I say, I'm absolutely brand new, so I'm still learning the ropes a little bit and working out who's who and I suppose like the extent of my responsibilities in my job. But I'll be overseeing Martin's work, Martin Payne, who's our Health and Wellbeing Coordinator. Obviously, we have our Community Wellbeing Hub. Apologies if I'm telling you things you already know, but our Community Wellbeing Hub, which is at the Leisure Box in Briarfield. Lots of sessions going on throughout the week there, as well as out in the community. All of our details of our health and wellbeing sessions are on our website, so I won't go through them session by session, but I can signpost to what's going on throughout the week. I'll also be overseeing our food bank, community food bank, down at downtown. So Nathan Norris leads on our food bank down there. As Abby said, downtown Burnley Together has been selected as the football club's charity partner of the year. There will be, I know Nathan's due to be doing some media around it this week, so hopefully the awareness will be increasing of that partnership and what that means and what that will look like across the year in the coming weeks. I know that Nathan is drumming home and really promoting the Harvest Festival collections and linking up with schools to see if we can benefit from those Harvest Festival collections down at the food bank, as well as he's launching a reverse advent calendar, which will be sent out to lots of schools and businesses, whereby we're doing it earlier than a classic advent calendar, so we've got time to distribute food, but where it's effectively like a poster that goes on the wall where we suggest a food item that can be donated every day throughout November. And hopefully that will bring in lots of food donations that will be distributed right across Burnley as well. Just going back to our health and wellbeing, community health and wellbeing hub, we are in the process of recruiting for a health and wellbeing officer. It is out there on lots of job sites and stuff, but I'd appreciate if anybody could share that far and wide to help us to recruit a great new health and wellbeing officer that can support the work that we do and free Martin up, because he delivers kind of like everything at the moment. So we're keen to get somebody in to support the work that he's doing and offer more and more right across Burnley. But it's a pleasure to meet you all. Hopefully I'll have more to share as I learn more about my job.
Always difficult when you start a new job. Thank you, Rowan. Thank you very much for that. Naveed.
Sorry, I switched my camera off because I can't stand looking at my face, let alone listening to my voice online. So I switched my camera off today. But I wanted to just give you a couple of updates. One is about the fact Burnley's organising a climate week, 7th to the 13th of October. There's a few events going on that they'll be promoting. I'll put the link for the press release into the chat. Secondly, I wanted to mention about Bubbles in the Park event. I believe I didn't actually attend because I couldn't go, but I believe it was a success and it was very well received. And that was credit to the community who wanted to do something on the back of the incidents that happened after the Southport murders. So but this is something that they might be looking to replicate next year. So I don't know if partners, if they're looking, they've got a meeting, and if there's partners like Advocacy Focus or CAP or anybody, I think there's ways of engaging with the community to promote the work you do. So I'm sure we'll circulate it with you with the contact details. If you had nothing better to do on I think it's a bank holiday Monday actually. Next year.
I can feel a community festival coming on the back of that Bubbles.
Oh, please, Trace, don't wish these things on, please don't. Right, anyway, so yeah, so there's quite a few things happening, but that is credit to the community, I have to say, who wanted to do something to bring people together, along with the Diversity Festival that everybody's mentioned already. So good events happening. And then I wanted to mention the Nature Festival, because nobody's here from Burnley Leisure. I mentioned it in the context because I know I'm there with the council leader. We're going to do a bit of a walk and a talk, so residents can meet with the council leader, raise any concerns. However, we're just one tiny fraction of a big event, which will take place on Sunday the 13th of October at Townley Park. There's about 33 different events taking place on that day, so come with your families, come with yourself. 1 till 4 on Sunday, and I'm praying that the weather's going to be so nice for people who do come. And yeah, so that's on Sunday the 13th of October at Townley Hall. And I don't know about parking, but it's 1 till 4. So that's it from me, Tracy. And I still keep the camera off. Thank you.
Beautifully done. Thank you very much. Sanam, last but not least, Sanam.
Hi everybody, thank you Tracy. So I've worked for East Lancashire Hospital for the East Lancashire Breast Screening Service. Just to let everybody know that we are going to be inviting majority of the GP practices for the breast screening, women aged 50 up to the age of 71 next year. So I'm looking for opportunities really to come out into the community and promote it as much as possible. So if you have a group, or if you have women's groups or anything like that, that you think I can come in, link in, speak about breast cancer screening as well as breast cancer awareness, that would be absolutely brilliant. Just to give you a bit of an insight into why it's so important, we were talking about trends, and I think we all know we are serving a community that's inequalities are just through the roof. We know that. And with the breast screening side of things, we also know that it's those that experience high inequalities that might not necessarily access services such as screening. We see it in breast screening all the time. We recently had a lady that actually didn't want to come through, but we rang her, invited her again, and luckily she did come, and she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And that's the type of thing that we are looking to actually, the community that we want to engage with, to bring them to their screening appointment. Like with all cancers, early detection saves lives, and that's essentially what screening does. So I've been listening to all of you across the board, and there's a lot of community groups there I think that possibly I could link in with. Hopefully, come November, December time when we meet again, I'll put out an email through Tracy to see if I can engage with anybody next year. Like I said, it is a lot of the GP practices that we're going to be inviting next year. So as many opportunities to engage would be brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, Sana. Most of you know this is a subject that's close to my heart. I was diagnosed, next month will be 12 months since I was diagnosed with breast cancer. That early detection is massively important. Encourage your family, friends, your beneficiaries, anybody to go along to the breast to get screened. You know, check yourselves, get people to check themselves as well. It's really important. I've come out the other end. I'm absolutely fine. And the NHS was marvellous. I can't fault them at all on my journey. They've been absolutely brilliant. So please do encourage, please do get Sanam along to talk to your groups, because it is really important. I'll shut up now. So thank you, everybody. Do you know what? Every meeting, I always think we're going to run over, we're not going to do it on time. And look at us, 2 minutes early, and all that information that we've all just shared. Thank you so much, everyone. It's always a pleasure to do these meetings. It's always a pleasure to listen to everyone and the great stuff that's happening in Burnley. And please do spread the word. You know, if you're involved with some groups that maybe not necessarily are members, they don't have to come along to every meeting. Please do get them to become a member. They can still get all that information. They can watch us on YouTube. been, and I promise it will be edited. I will make sure that it's edited. Don't worry. So thank you very much. Have a lovely rest of your Thursday, and keep up the good work. It's brilliant what we're all doing. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.